And we are live. Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming by to Friday Night Tech Talk. And right now, you've got me and Ted, and AltDadTech is supposed to be joining us, David from last week, and I'm hoping very much that he does. And when he comes in, I'll bring him right in.
AltDadTech is supposed to be joining us,
There's
David.
my phone doing what it always does. Okay.
Never fails.
Now, if you remember last week, I had lots of issues with the computer. I've done what I can during
Was
the
it
week.
the computer or was it Comcast?
The combination of the two, but I think it was mostly Comcast. So I've done what I can to speed up the computer. You guys are going to have to let me know. I hope I don't end up having to go out 5 times like I did last week. So far, I think it's okay. You guys let me know if you're seeing any broadcasts. So meanwhile, who's here? Eleanor was first, and it's at 7:04. And then, of course, Nigel was second, but Eleanor's his big sis, so we're good there. Brian came in right after Nigel, and then Renz came in, and he's putting his usual wise guy stuff in. Said, oh, okay. Then he came back. I mean, brass knuck sax tooting George. So that's who's here for now. Thank everybody for joining, and hopefully David will be in here very soon. AltDadTech. And meanwhile, we'll get started. I got off work very late today at 5:15. I was 60 miles out picking up some other guy. So I got home. I got back to the office well after 6, but managed to get up on time. So I'm going to, in the show notes are in the description box on YouTube. Let's see, what's Brian say? Oh, Anthony is here. Welcome, Anthony. My Project 13.
Hey,
one of my
hi, friends.
One of my favorite people. What was I going to say?
My LG phone.
Okay, go pick up your LG phone. I sold one of mine. Let's see. Yeah, I sold the GXX to one of your Texas comrades in Frisco.
Oh, wow, very close by.
Yeah. Matter of fact, well, my place, I have to make a. Last Friday, he says, "Oh, it showed up." Week showed up, and Brian is saying, if anyone uses Visible with Pixel 5 4A 5G, go LTE and only use dialer. Is it that bad, Brian? That you have to get off 5G completely?
That is
That's
very
kind of weird. Yeah, he's saying the LTE is faster than 5G on Visible.
Yeah, that's what
That's
he said
funny
last
because
week,
my
too.
5G both in Chattanooga and in Miami. Yeah, my 5G in Chattanooga and Miami is faster than LTE, so I don't know what's up with that. Must be something specific to Visible, I would think. All right, and hopefully my computer will act nice, not like it did last week. Okay, got it up.
See if I can turn on.
Let's see if I can share the screen. Come on, screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Boom.
Here's our screen. All right. So I started off with net neutrality because I figured this is something that affects all of us, and especially all of us techie. Oh, and Anthony is watching on his LG wing. You show off, you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from The Verge.
Today's episode is brought to you by Stella Rosa. with their
Okay.
new flavor, Stella Peach.
Okay. Well, shouldn't you be having a Stella Doro cookie or something with that? Just my thought.
I don't know, but either way, I'm having a stellar weekend.
Okay, there you go.
combo pun.
All right, on the verge, Democrats are gearing up to fight for net neutrality. There are multiple paths, but no surefire one just yet. A new bill to bring back net neutrality is on its way, supported by one of the open internet's most fervent advocates. An advocacy event last month, Senator Ed Markey announced that he would be introducing a measure in the next few weeks that would engrave the no throttling block. The coronavirus pandemic has proven that broadband is as essential as electricity and other utilities. That's true. We need to restore net neutrality protections to ensure that our internet remains open and free and that consumers can continue to benefit from this critical infrastructure. Legislation like Markey plans to introduce could finally put the debate over net neutrality to rest and secure open internet protections for Americans under Title II for good, immune from the back and forth of the Tom Willie and Ajit Pai orders. Net neutrality has more of a chance than ever with Democrats in control of Congress and the White House. But with a razor-thin majority in the Senate and most Republicans still firmly oppose net neutrality legislation still faces a delicate path. I don't understand why the Republicans are against it. Anyway, Markey and his compatriots in the House have already seen some success in legislative efforts to revive the rules. In 2018, Markey Save the Internet Act, introduced in the House by Representative Mike Doyle, was approved by a significant margin, but was never taken up in the Senate under former Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's leadership. Another measure, through the Congressional Review Act, received a 52-47 vote to overturn the Pai Federal Communications rollback of the rules. 3 Republicans, Senators John Kennedy, Louisiana, Lisa Murkowski, Arkansas, and Susan Collins, Maine, all voted on a measure to bring back the rules, signaling that there could be some bipartisan support for a new bill in the Senate as well. That's good. But the window for another CRA vote has long since passed to approve net neutrality legislation in the Senate. There are also Senate Democrats who could vote against the bill. Senator Kristen Sinema, Roger Wicker, Republican, Mississippi, so one Democrat, one Republican, in previous Congresses that sought to draft a bill to bridge the partisan divide. No bill ever came out of that group, but it would likely include net neutrality's 3 bright line rules: no throttling, blocking, or paid prioritization of web traffic. I can't speak. But without Title II, an FCC classification that gives the Commission more authority to regulate broadband, a bill would be a non-starter for many Democrats. It's not just about net neutrality, or that broadband is affordable and accessible to everyone, that it's reliable. Right now, the FCC can't do any of that, Chris Lewis, president and CEO of Public Knowledge, said. If a legislative solution isn't viable, Democrats are preparing to pressure the FCC to take measures into their own hands again. In a statement to The Verge, Markey said, "Once we have 3 Democrats in place at the FCC, I will strongly urge it to reverse Trump's FCC's wrong-headed decision and restore net neutrality and the FCC's authority over broadband." I agree. By appointing Democratic Commissioner Jessica Rosenwasser to lead the FCC in the interim in January, President Biden signaled that he would approve of a net neutrality advocate chairman chairing the commission, Republicans, making it impossible for it to move forward on open internet rules. Now, what strikes me about that You got 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats. Does that automatically mean they have to be against each other? And it sounds stupid. It's like, to me, it's like a little bunch of kids. Anyway, as of Tuesday, Politico reported that Biden had selected Linda Kahn, an anti-monopoly researcher and expert, to join the Federal Trade Commission. This nomination, once confirmed, would bring the FTC back to a working majority, potentially signaling that the FCC could be next in line for a nomination. Activists are already lining up to ensure that Biden's pick for the next FCC commissioner won't have any ties to the telecom industry. That makes sense because I think Rosenworcel has some ties. The first battle is ensuring that whoever the Biden administration nominates for that 5th position, that the FCC is someone who's a real fighter, who's going to stand up and make sure that the FCC is an agency of fight for the future, told The Verge. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Still, any measure that would put net neutrality rules back in place at the FCC would be subject to yet another reversal under a new Republican-led administration in the next few years. So it's open 4 years down the road, making it even more important for Congress to try. Another Republican comes in 4 years, it wouldn't make a difference that the law would stand. So that would be good if they could come up with that. State laws are also beginning to go into effect. Last month, the federal judge ruled that California could begin enforcing its state's net neutrality law. Yeah, we talked about that 2 weeks ago. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, 9 states have introduced some form of net neutrality legislation this year. If more of these laws are approved, it could make legislating at the federal level even more of a challenge, with Republicans seeking to make those laws moot through preemption. I don't see how they could do that, but this momentum in the states could force both Republicans and Democrats to get serious about net neutrality legislation. I hope it does. I think it shows real momentum, Greer said of the California decision. It certainly opens the door for other states to follow California's lead, and I think we will see that. Let's hope so. And they corrected that this article previously said Roger Wicker represents Louisiana. He represents Mississippi. Okay, so next door. So anyway, it sounds like we might actually see some net neutrality legislation. So hopefully that will go through. And I still don't understand why so many Republicans. Yeah, do you understand why so many Republicans are against it? Because I don't get it.
I have no idea. Probably saltiness for all I know.
Okay. Or they
maybe they have family in.
It just doesn't seem to make sense for all the Republicans.
It's the saltiness.
With almost encouraging my speech here. Okay.
Thank God.
Oh, thank God you're reading. I hate reading. Don't get me wrong. I'm a good reader. It just gives me a headache. Okay. I used to be a voracious reader. Now I don't have much time. I get most of my books on audio if I need to read something, really. But it's all a matter of time. Or as the old song says, it's just a matter of time. You know I had to get that in.
I'm just going to look at how I look.
All right, so no David yet, so we'll move on to our next story. Okay.
Ooh, I actually look kind of good.
Right. Oh, pardon me.
I'm not sure if David is the type to just be reading stories.
Well, I sent him to him anyway. What? But I enjoy his commentary no matter what, you know.
Great commentary. I'm not sure.
Page up. Ted, you're going to take this?
Yes.
Yeah, he has great commentary. All right, I'm sharing the screen.
But,
Ted.
Reading stuff like Dr. Seuss can get old. So, senators,
all right,
call on.
There you go.
Ready?
Yep.
Who's tapping in the background? It's not me.
Not me.
Is it you, George? Okay.
No,
So, senators call on FCC to quadruple base high-speed internet speeds. The Pi, I don't know why it's called that. The Pi FCC decided to maintain the current standard. Oh, that's why it's called that.
Edge Pie.
Yeah. By Makina Kelly of Vox. The federal government's definition of high-speed broadband has remained stagnant over the last 6 years. Sort of like the federal minimum wage, am I right? The last 6 years, sitting at 25 megabits down and 3 megabits up since 2015. But faced with pandemic-fueled network workloads and a new push for infrastructure spending, lawmakers are getting ready to upgrade that definition. In a letter to government leaders Thursday, a bipartisan group of senators, there you go, Jersey, bipartisan,
good,
called for a quadrupling of base high-speed broadband delivery speeds, making 100 megabits down and 100 megabits up. Damn. The new base for high-speed. Oh, yes, especially the upload. Going forward, we should make every effort to spend limited federal dollars on broadband networks capable of providing sufficient download and upload speeds and quality. Going forward, we should spend limited. I don't know about that limited federal dollars. It sounds like he wants to put a cap on that. Senators Michael Benet, a Democrat,
Joe Manchin, that they have no business spending,
and Angus King, I guess she's an independent, and Rob Portman, a Republican from Ohio, wrote to the FCC and other agencies. There is no reason federal funding to rural areas should not support the type of speeds. There is no reason federal funding to rural areas should not support the type of speeds used by households in the typical well-served urban and suburban areas. The letter calls on the FCC and other agencies to change their definition of high-speed broadband to anything above 100 megabits down and up, a shift that would prohibit the FCC from identifying an area as being served with broadband unless it's met those speed criteria. It is a complete change of pace from the FCC under former Chairman Ajit Pai's leadership, which established the previous 25 down, 3 megabits up. We find that the current speed benchmark of 25 down, 3 up remains an appropriate measure by which to assess whether I don't even read his shit.
That's what he said back when he left. Remember?
Yep, we talked about that 4 weeks ago. Yep. The current base speeds for high-speed broadband aren't nearly enough for a moderately sized family working from home. Zoom recommends 3.8 megabits upload speeds for just one 1080p video. That's kind of generous. I usually, when I have 3 megabits up, I just go straight down to 720. And the shift to remote schooling and work has faced many families to run multiple simultaneous streams. Very true. Ask any senior who connects with their physician via telemedicine, any farmer hoping to unlock the benefits of precision agriculture. I need to hear more about this. Or any student who receives live-streamed instruction, or any family where both parents telework and multiple children are remote learning, they will tell you that many networks fail to come close to high speed in the year of 2021.
That makes perfect sense, because right now, you could have both parents working and the children learning, and you got to do better than 3 up. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yes. I feel like there's some.
So it's nice to hear that there's some bipartisan support for this.
Let's see.
So anyway, I thought 100 up was really generous too, so that's cool. So let's
100 up, yes, I would love 100. I've never seen 100 up, never seen it. Not even when even when I'm plugged in the Ethernet. Matter of fact, I'm plugged into the Ethernet right now. Let me go do this little test, Wi-Fi speed test. I don't know why I say Wi-Fi speed test because I'm plugged in the Ethernet, but let me just indulge myself.
It's not Wi-Fi.
I know, but come on. Okay, so
what you got?
All right, 73, 74, 75 down. 76 down. Come on.
Okay.
Upload. Oh my gosh. 32, 30. It's going to be about 35 up.
Well, that's not bad. Not close to 100, but it's not bad.
I remember when it was used to be. I remember the days when I first joined Friday Night Tech Talk, and I had It was. I ended up getting a new router thanks to Jerome's advice. But yeah, it was struggle times. But
Yeah,
but
yeah, well, you were having a tough time in the beginning. I
yeah,
remember. Nigel has a bunch of new stuff. Let's see. Okay.
Mate 40
Renz
Pro.
has the
Wow.
Huawei Mate 40 Pro. He got it this week, I think, and he's buying protectors and screen protectors and cases. And he's buying all kinds of stuff.
According to, he's saying
So
that
Renz
the
is the
Huawei
identity.
Mate X2 is $5,200.
That much? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to get a hold of their phones since they don't really make
It's
much.
over 5,000. Wow. I mean, a lot of people are praising it already, but not $5,000 for it, I wouldn't think. Wow. Let's see. And he probably should rent you one.
That is 2 times the price of the
$5,000
Sony Xperia Pro.
Yeah. And this is just an amazing world we live. Let's see if anybody buys this thing.
How much was that special
Okay,
edition Galaxy Z Fold 2 again? The one that comes with the watch and the earbuds? The Tom Bin edition?
Oh, wasn't that like 3,000 or something like that? I'm thinking. I could be wrong. If anybody remembers.
Yeah, I think it was around 3,000. That Tom Bin edition, which came with a smartwatch, the earbuds, and nice
Right.
wrist strap.
Okay.
Damn.
Anthony is asking, is the next story long too? I don't think it's very long. It's about Jack Dorsey's tweets, about his selling his tweets. So.
What does he mean too? None of the stories have been long so far.
Well, the
This
first
story-
one, the second one was short. The first one was kind of long. All right, so I'm pulling up the next story, and no database yet. Come on, computer. Better than it did last week. Well, because
I'm
I said
currently
that, it's gonna take forever to
streaming
pull up
with
this story.
my iPhone. And I have to say, it's working kind of well. Working very well.
Yes, it is. Very, very well.
I remember when I first started trying this
Yeah.
thing out with, what was it? What was the app I had to use? I think it was Ecamm or something, or Ocam. It was bad, but it looks like,
Right.
after the pandemic, the developers cleaned up this app, so it's now more reliable. They did a complete
That's great. It
recall.
looks great from here.
Yeah. Streaming at
Okay,
20.
this one is on MarketWatch. I could have pulled this story from anywhere because everybody had this story. Anyway, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is selling his first tweet. Bidding has reached 2.5 million. Dorsey says he'll convert over 2.5 million of his tweet sale to Bitcoin and donate to COVID-19 relief in Africa. So, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is selling his first tweet. Just setting up my Twitter from March 2006 reads, Dorsey, who was CEO of Square, I didn't know that till I read this, in addition to Twitter, is selling the tweet as a non-fungible token or NFT. I had to do a lot of looking up on this non-fungible token stuff.
Square
An
owns,
NFT is...
I was going to say,
Go ahead.
Square owns the Cash App, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, yeah, Square was in the news because of they had a partnership deal with Tidal.
And did it go through?
Yeah, it went through. Let's see. Jack Dorsey is now on the board of Tidal. No.
Oh,
no.
okay. So I guess it
Square
did.
has a controlling interest on Tidal, and
Okay,
Jay-Z is
gotcha.
now on the board of Square.
Oh, yes, I did see that story. I never got a chance to read it, but yes, I did see it the other day. An NFT is a verifiable digital asset vouchsafed by blockchain technology. NFTs are not exchangeable like currencies, as replicate traditional currencies are, meaning they are interchangeable and can be divided into smaller fractions. So in other words, you sell something, this is a hard asset, and it stays that way no matter what. NFTs use blockchain, the technology ledger backing cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are databases of linked information to record ownership or transactions of a product. While NFT uses blockchain, they are not currencies and should be treated more like rare trading cards than money. Yeah, that's a good analogy. According to Valuable by Cent, Tweet's marketplace that recently launched, the winner of the auction for Dorsey's tweet will receive a digital certificate of the tweet, unique because it has been signed. And the auction winner will also get the metadata of the original tweet, including when the tweet was posted, what the text contents are of the tweet, the timestamp of the tweet, and the digital signature from the creator's crypto wallet address. The listing, which has been up since December, has a current highest bid of $2.5 million. Dorsey tweeted a link to the listing, which will end on March 21st. So if you're going to bid on that, folks, you've got a week and a couple of days. Dorsey said he'll convert the proceeds from the sale to Bitcoin and donate to COVID-19 relief in Africa. So here's his tweet telling when it's going to end. Non-fungible tokens have exploded in popularity in recent months as people have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on digital assets like NBA Top Shot and other digital art. Yeah, I had never heard of them until I saw this story. So I just thought that was an interesting story to sell in. So anybody that's got a few million to spend on a tweet from Jack Dorsey, you feel free. And send me some money too. Just figure I'd do my begging while I'm here.
Why don't you? Oh, yeah. Super chat is wide open, guys. What do you think about this whole NFT thing, though?
I mean, I think it's cool. I guess in my mind, maybe I'm wrong. It only makes sense if you have something expensive like that. You know, something that's going to cost thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever. I would think that's going to be the only people messing around with that kind of blockchain stuff.
Yeah, I
mean, I could be wrong. You know.
The idea of it being a collector sort of thing.
I like the idea of it too. Yeah.
As a digital thing, but I don't know. Apparently, there might be some, some actually functional stuff that you can do with it, like giving people special tokens for attending an event. Ooh, look, Renz gave you a super chat.
Would be thousands of dollars. Oh, thank you so much, Renz. Really, really appreciate it. You guys are always, Renz is a great guy. Even though I told him he was crazy before. But yeah, I think that the whole thing is nice that they took the whole Bitcoin thing. It's like it's a totally separate category, and I think that's great. You know, so. But somebody might think I actually like tech. Who knew? You know. Okay, going on to the next story. Trying to pull it up. Oh, now this one pulls up right away. Okay. Renz insists on calling me this, okay? First of all, Renz, back in the day, I never used brass knucks because I found that at a very long at a young age, you can people worse with your feet than you can with your hands, say. Okay, next one is kind of an important story just to let people know what's happening, and I'll tell you a little bit about it after Ted reads the story. So I'm sharing it now.
Ooh.
Come on. pull it up, will you? Okay, there we go. All right, so it's on CNET. Whenever you're ready, Ted, we're good to go.
Got it up. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so T-Mobile will start sharing your app and browsing info with advertisers by default. It's like Agent Pie still lives on. By Andrew Gebhardt. T-Mobile is starting a new program that collects and shares data with.
I wouldn't say it's that bad, but
T-Mobile is starting a new program that collects and shares data with advertisers in order to show you ads more relevant to your interests. They collect data.
Yeah, they're going to target you that much more. That's all that means. Yeah.
Customers will be included by default, but will be allowed to opt out. The carrier announced the change in a privacy policy update last month, and it was spotted by the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday. The new policy will affect both T-Mobile and Sprint customers since the companies merged last year and will allow the carrier to share info like your browser date and the apps you use. The policy will go into effect April 26. The company clarified that the info it collects won't be tied to your name, but it will link to a unique mobile advertising identifier. Once the policy goes into effect, data on your web browsing and phone usage will be collected and shared with advertisers by default. If you're a T-Mobile customer or Sprint customer, you'll need to opt out if you don't want this info collected.
All right, so a couple of things. First of all, it says the company clarified the info won't be tied to your name, as if those advertisers can't go find out your name once they have to. That is so stupid to even mention that. But I have to tell you, as soon as, because you know me, I'm kind of a big T-Mobile fan. As soon as I saw the story, I went in and I opted out.
Off, didn't you? Yeah,
I opted out immediately. So it's very easy to go into the settings and opt out. So if you don't want to be targeted that much more starting next month, make sure if you're on T-Mobile, to go in and opt out, and then you won't have to be bothered any more than you are today, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
So.
And look at this. See, just as the news goes out, I'm out of wine now. Some BS. Damn.
So what are you going to do? Sit there whining about it? Oh.
It's just, I don't know, man. Once upon a time, it used to be, if you get something for free, then, you get served the ads. And if you paid for a service, then you don't get ads.
Exactly. But
I don't know when this rule changed, especially from a damn utility company.
Well, they're saying that they don't care if you pay or not, you're going to get the ads unless you opt out. That's what I'm thinking it means.
It's not like we get the ads, but, they collect data for the ads.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, at least we can opt out, and I did it immediately. So everybody else who has T-Mobile, you can do it immediately too. So,
or you can just leave T-Mobile. Thank God, I was so like, whew, thank goodness.
I love T-Mobile. I have to say, I've had T-Mobile now for 6 years, I guess, and I love being on T-Mobile. Heck, my third phone line they gave me for free.
I could never love a company.
Okay, Mon.
What company
this was
do I know deserves my affection?
Oh, I could tell you this is true. Elno will tell you this is true. If I had to pick a company I really truly love, it's called EPB, which is our power company in Chattanooga area.
Yeah,
and
I know
it's
you have that
EPBFI. That's the internet carrier in Chattanooga, who I wish my landlord would switch to. But that's the it has the along with Google, usually the fastest speeds on Earth. And what I love about that company, and I love that. So that's the one company I know I really love. Now, of course, I like FedEx and Amazon and UPS because I'm a YouTuber. Did you throw that?
Yeah, it was empty.
It looked like. Oh yeah, I'm just wondering where it landed. I didn't hear a smash or anything.
That's the
Let's
noise
see.
canceling
Ren's
buzz
is
for you.
okay, that was good. That was good. Renz is saying, opted out or not, those ads that still held persistent on my phone. And that's the thing. I'm saying, Renz, if you don't opt out, you're going to end up getting more than you get now. 7 or 8 texts every day from those annoying things, and I get probably 2 or 3 phone calls a day. Most of the time, they want you to renew my warranty on a car, which
Oh my gosh, I have been getting those
everybody
once a day, like clockwork. It's horrible.
Yeah. And you know what happens? If you block the phone number, the next time it comes in with a different phone number.
Yeah, they always come in from a different number. I don't even bother blocking.
Yep. I block them anyway. So I've got a huge list of blocked phone numbers on my phones, of course. Okay.
Let's see. But you know, George, this problem of yours with your landlord's choice of utilities, it's you know what they say, modern problems require modern solutions. I was in your position earlier this year. No, it was last year, where my landlady.
So give me the solution.
So, landlady would not update. She had a really, really, really so old router. I'm talking ancient. Like it was just the ABG. Like it didn't have the newer AC radio frequency.
Right. Yeah.
And she was very adamant that it was good, but even though it was trash.
Okay.
So let's just say her router had an accident, dreadful catastrophic accident.
I couldn't do that to anybody.
And so we suffered. We all had to suffer for about 2 days, and then I was like, I provided the solution, which is what we're all experiencing right now, and no one is none the wiser, but everyone is happier. So I'm going to say on that. Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From my point of view, knowing who I am, I couldn't do that simply because anything I do, my first thought is always, God is watching what I'm doing. So I couldn't do that.
God will understand.
Now,
God will understand.
My solution in that specific, God's kind of strict about rules. But in any case, but you did give me an idea.
What's the rule on this one? What does God say about utilities?
You don't mess with other people's property. Period.
That's a good point.
Exactly. So, but you gave me a good idea. I think I'm going to see if I can talk him into letting me buy him a new router, because I gotta believe a newer router would help.
No. For all people, if it's good, why change it? Now,
well, that's the thing, and I'm 76.
If it's not good, though, if it's not
he's
good,
78, so it's tougher for me. But I'm still going to broach the idea to him, and maybe if we get a new router, it'll make it faster. I'm hoping. So we'll see. See how he's pretty responsive to me and open to my suggestions. And I'm thinking if it's coming out of my pocket, maybe it'll be good to go. So we'll see. All right. So this next story I thought was.
I would have put money on a short thing.
I thought that was Charlie. Brown. It was good. Okay. Okay. I'm going to share screen. Who read the last story? You?
Yeah, I read the T-Mobile one.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. This one's back on The Verge. And this is a pretty interesting story. Security startup for Kata hacked exposes 150,000 security cameras in Tesla factories, jails, and more. A massive security breach for the Silicon Valley startup. Now, the first thing I thought of right from the headline is,
Jails.
so Tesla is it in the story. Anyway, Verkada, a Silicon
No, George, I think you
Valley
have to
security
repeat that. George, you have to repeat that. You broke up. I didn't really get. The first thing you thought was what?
was that Tesla is using a startup for their security cameras? That just struck me as very weird. But I
Oh,
guess, since
I would
they're
have thought.
Silicon Valley, I guess it's kind of. Go ahead.
I was thinking, what the hell, like, is Tesla doing with jails? But hmm.
Now, Nigel is saying something about breaking up.
Yeah, you've been
I
breaking up.
don't
That's why I had
understand
you
the question.
repeat your thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think there's anything else I can do with it. Maybe a new writer will help by next time. But it's certainly a lot better than it was last week.
That is
Okay.
true.
So Verkada, a Silicon Valley security startup that provides cloud-based security camera services, has suffered a major security breach. Hackers gained access to over 150,000 of the company's cameras, including cameras in Tesla factories and warehouses, Cloudflare offices, Equinox gyms, hospitals, jails, schools, police stations, and Verkada's own offices, Bloomberg reports. According to Tilly Cotman, one of the members of the International Hacker Collective that breached the system, God, it was them and not somebody else. In addition to the live feeds, the group also claimed to have had access to the full video archive of all of Verkada's customers. That's pretty scary stuff. In a statement to Bloomberg, a Verkada representative commented, "We have disabled all internal administrator accounts to prevent any unauthorized access. Our internal security team and external security firm are investigating the scale and scope of this potential issue. Following Bloomberg's request to Verkada, the group lost access to both the company's live feeds and archives." So they had basically shut everything down. The hack was apparently relatively simple. The group managed to gain super admin level, access to Verkada's system using a username and password they found publicly on the internet. Amazing.
Wow.
They just put that's super admin on the internet, and it's just out there. Wow. From there, they were able to access the entire company's network, including root access to the cameras themselves, which in turn allowed the group to access the internal networks of some of Verkada's customers. Yeah, well, you have admin app, super admin access. Verkada prides itself on offering internet-connected security cameras, promising a Silicon Valley software-first approach, not a security-first approach, to make security as seamless and modern as the organizations we protect. I wouldn't call that protection. The cloud-connected cameras include a slick, web-based interface for companies to monitor their feeds and offer optional facial recognition software too. The company has also discrimination after an incident in 2019 where a sales director used Verkada's office security cameras to harass female co-workers by secretly photographing and posting pictures of them in a company Slack channel. I wish you'd give me that guy and put me in an alley with him for 5 minutes. In response, Verkada's CEO offered members of the Slack channel a choice between leaving the company or having it. I think it's disgusting. That's just me. It's a personal thing. The list of clients that use Verkada is broad. In addition to companies like Tesla and Cloudflare, the group gained access to Verkada cameras inside Halifax Health, a Florida hospital, Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut. We've all heard of that one. Madison County Jail in Huntsville, Alabama, and Wadley Regional Medical Center, a hospital in Texarkana, Texas. In addition to the camera footage, the group also says that it was able to access the full list of Al-Qaeda's thousands of customers and its private financial information. So that's pretty serious. But I'd say they were very, very lucky that a group who does this kind of stuff did it just to show it could be done and not so scary. It makes you wonder, is Tesla going to keep them for their cameras? Stuff that's, I don't think I would. But, since they said this other accusation happened in 2019, so they're not that much of a startup because that's 2 years ago. So
you could be still a startup for 2 years.
So just a very interesting story, I thought. Well, 2 years is a very long time. Yeah. All right, quick drink. Next story. I'm pulling it up now. You guys can jump in with more comments if you want, unless we're boring you. I hope not. And the computer's taking a while to pull it up. Come on. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to share the screen. And and there it is. All right, Ted, it's all yours whenever you're ready. This was on Android Authority.
All right. Report. Here's why the U.S. added Xiaomi to a blacklist. Credit to Eric Zenman.
I didn't even know that happened.
Let's see. Yeah. Xiaomi was added to a U.S. blacklist earlier this year, with Washington claiming that the company's ties to the Chinese military warranted its addition to the list. This move essentially prevents U.S. investors from investing in Xiaomi. Yeah, I remember this. Was talked by, what's his name? That guy. The Friday Checkout? By the Story Behind guy, with the Story Behind series. Tech Alter.
That was under Trump's, though, right? That was under Trump, though, right?
Early this year? I don't remember. As opposed to this just stops U.S. investors from investing in Xiaomi, as opposed to the more aggressive entity list, which is wreaking havoc with Huawei. The U.S. didn't dish out a reason for Xiaomi's addition to the blacklist at the time, but a U.S. Department of the DoD legal filing spotted by the Wall Street Journal may have given us reason. And oddly enough, the filing notes that award given to Xiaomi co-founder and CEO Lei Jun is partly to blame. According to the outlet, Jun received the Outstanding Builder of Socialism with Chinese Characteristics Award from Chinese Ministry of Industry and Information Technology in 2019. The Wall Street Journal adds that the award was given to 100 Chinese executives in 2019 and was mentioned in Xiaomi's website. So Xiaomi schnitzed on themselves.
Exactly.
The filing also reportedly points to Xiaomi's investments in advanced technologies like 5G and AI as reasons it adds to the U.S. blacklist. Xiaomi didn't comment on the matter when asked by the outlet, but it previously denied any links to Chinese military when news of its blacklisting first broke. The company confirmed that it is not owned, controlled, or affiliated with the Chinese military and is not a communist Chinese military company defined under the NDAA. So, do you think Xiaomi should be blacklisted?
On the one hand, the fact that he received that the award was called Outstanding Builder of Socialism with Chinese Characteristics, that would, to me, kind of imply a tie to the government, but I don't know. But I did not.
You did. Well, you certainly did something that the government likes. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing I didn't realize when I put the story up was that, okay, so this is a blacklist. So I guess a blacklist is kind of a halfway step to the entity list. So I gather it's not as bad as Huawei, as what Huawei has been going through. So I didn't even know there were two separate lists.
Yeah,
so Xiaomi is still selling phones here, right? And they're still getting the Google services, right? As far as I know.
Look at Ren's comments.
Okay. Okay. It did happen. I think Xiaomi was blacklisted right before Trump. That's what I thought. It had to be during Trump, but I'm surprised that Biden hasn't reversed it, which I would have thought that would be the thing to do. But when it comes to the Chinese, security stuff, it seems like some of the Democrats and Republicans agree on that stuff. So that could be why they're still on that blacklist. Here's Renz's other comment. With the shock to hear here in Asia, a lot of Xiaomi users are afraid of losing Google services on new Xiaomi phones. Yeah, and that's what we have to see, because my impression from this story is, if you're on the internet like Huawei is, you're not going to Google services or anything else. Remember, but maybe you're only on the blacklist, you'll still get your Google service. The impression they're going to lose all access to Google and all the other American companies. So
that would be bad.
So just interesting. Yep, that would be very bad. Just ask Huawei. I click on the comments, so that's why it's popping back up again. Anyway, I hope you're right, Renz. I hope it doesn't happen there. Okay. Next story. Yeah, this is a big deal, I guess, because Samsung is going to introduce their A series here. It's kind of a big deal. Okay, this is on CNET. Samsung's, and of course, everybody had this story. I just picked this one. Samsung sets March 17th, so second unpacked event of 2021. The company is expected to talk up its less expensive Galaxy A series of phones in what it calls bringing awesome to everyone. I'm hoping this is true because I never got around to it. So this year I will get around to it. It's only the third month of the year, but Samsung is gearing up for its second big product launch of 2021. The company on Tuesday sent in invitations for an unpacked event set for a 7 a.m. Pacific time, March 17th, where the company is expected to show off its affordable Galaxy A series of smartphones. Samsung said that at the event, it'll explain how it's bringing awesome to everyone. In mid-January, Samsung unveiled its flagship phones for the year, the Galaxy S21, S21 Plus, and S21 Ultra. I love this phone to death. Doing an online event. All came with 5G, and the devices start at $800, which is $200 less than their predecessors. Though Samsung cut the price in part because of the current environment, $800 may still be too expensive for the millions of people out of work during the coronavirus pandemic. That's where the A series comes in. That's very true. Samsung has offered its Galaxy A phones internationally for a long time, but last year marked the first time it introduced a full lineup in the US. A year ago, it unveiled four 4G LTE phones that range from $110 for the Galaxy A10 to $400 for the Galaxy A51, and two 5G models, the $500 A51 5G and the $600 Galaxy A71 5G. At the time, the A51 and A71 were two of the cheapest 5G phones in the US, but they've since handed the title of most affordable 5G phone to vendors like TCL with its $400 TCL10 5G UW, and OnePlus with its $300 Nord N10 5G. The Galaxy A devices help Samsung gain buyers at a time when its pricier Galaxy S20 phones struggle. Now, what I'm interested to see because of the success that TCL is having with that $400 5G and OnePlus is having with that Nord 10 5G, will the A series phones be a little cheaper on the 5G? I'm hoping so, because I'm probably going to get one. It's likely Samsung's new Galaxy A lineup will see lower prices than last year's 5G models. I hope so. The move to introduce less expensive devices is a reversal from a few years ago when Apple and Samsung made $1,000 the standard starting price for high-end phone. At first, some people accepted the hike, though plenty of others balked at the cost. In the US, or sought out budget versions of iPhones and Galaxy phones. When 5G and more advanced materials were added to the devices, the companies again found it easier to justify their prices. Having the latest and greatest innovations isn't cheap. Yeah, but now they do have choices, at least from Qualcomm, for 5G. You can get an expensive 5G and a not so expensive 5G. So that's going to be interesting to see what they put in the phones. Yeah, but some of those innovations have now been on the market long enough that Samsung and other companies can lower their base prices. That's a good idea. We're also in the midst of a pandemic and recession that's resulted in millions of people sick and out of work. COVID-19 has affected more than 117 million people and has killed about 2.6 million. Here in Dallas, how's the economy doing there? Is it back to somewhat normal, or what's the deal in Dallas with the economy? Are you hearing me anymore?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. How's the economy in Dallas?
I think we're thriving. We're okay.
Okay. Yeah, because we are too in Chattanooga area. I was telling somebody the other day, our economy looks like it's back to normal. People are building stuff left and right, both private homes and businesses, and roads are getting repaired.
Actually, yeah.
So things are looking pretty
I actually
normal
have no
here.
idea. I don't go out too much, actually, so I have no idea, actually.
Yeah, and I only know because of my job, because I'm out 3 days a week driving. It's very normal around here, except for the masks. You don't see much difference. Oh, and last Saturday, Eleanor and I went to a restaurant, and they're spacing us, supposedly at least 6 feet apart from tables. Well, and some people came to the next table, and Eleanor was about 2 feet away from the guy at the next table, so nobody didn't seem to bother anybody. I just thought it was funny,
I went to this restaurant
So
with
anyway,
my friend, and
okay.
I called ahead and asked if they had outdoor seating. They said yes.
Right.
I go there, and apparently the outdoor seating was actually like covered, like it was like a marquee tent. And I was like, this is not what I had in my mind, guys, and you should have known. So I ended up leaving, but yeah, they weren't socially distancing in that marquee tent either. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the funny thing is, like when we walked into the restaurant, we hadn't been there in a while, and it's a really good restaurant that we like, and you could see the tables were separated nicely. But when this big group came next to us, well, the guy at the end of the table, I would say his shoulder was about 2 feet from Eleanor's shoulder. And Eleanor started talking to them all and joking with them anyway. So. But I just happened to notice that right away.
Yeah, I think things are almost back to normal. No, things aren't back to normal here at all, really, from what I've noticed.
Yeah, things look very normal here in Chattanooga, Let's see. Renz is coming. Awesome is right. Sammy's A series are growing, and they're pushing a lot of mid-rangers, and they're trying to kill their flagships. That's why Sammy flagships are expensive. Let's see. His next comment.
That's right.
The Galaxy A52 5G is the new mid-range. That's right. I've seen a couple of things on it already. And it's waterproof. Okay. So is there going to be, I think there's going to be an A72 too. And I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to get one, I'm going to shoot for that, depending on how much it costs. But I was kicking myself the last 3 months of last year because I never bought the A51 or A71. So they're going to come up with a 5G version. Hopefully, if it'd be nice for me if it was $400, but whatever. I'm going to really try to get
to the A series.
But I read another somewhere. I read that the top selling phone in the United States last year, or was it in the world? No, the top selling phone. The second selling phone in the United States was the Galaxy A51. So it's kind of becoming a big deal, I would think. Let's see. I'm still looking at the comments. Ren says here, it's better to stay home with Stella beside than going out and seeing people that don't do this. Yeah, and that's the thing with me. Eleanor has already had the virus, so she's got the antibodies. I have zero fear of the virus, so we just go out. And that's it. Okay, moving on. So I guess we're not going to see David tonight. Next story. This one is on Mac Rumors. I'm going to share it.
I lost the website.
Okay, take your time. All right, this one is on you. Whenever you're ready. I kind of have to say, I felt good for Apple about this.
I thought this was already a thing, though. Apple does. I thought they already, hit this benchmark a while ago. Like they sold more watches than all Swiss manufacturers.
To me, the big deal is that, but they're now outselling. Who's the big watch company? Why have I lost it? I think I have it in my notes, don't I? Let's see. Yeah, they topped Rolex. I think that's the big deal, don't you think?
They topped Rolex a long time ago.
Because Rolex, not according to what I'm reading. Well, read the article and maybe I made a mistake.
I remember this like years ago, and in fact, I always thought it was kind of weird because Rolex doesn't actually advertise their sales.
But they're still the top-selling watch in the world until now, I guess. Well, that's what this article implies.
How would we know? They don't advertise their sales.
They may not advertise them, but I'm sure there are places you can go and find reports. That's probably what they're going by, I would think.
Let's see. The market saw an overall decline in smartwatch shipments compared to last year due to the ongoing global health crisis. Apple, however, saw a 90% increase in shipments year over year. Apple was the single largest smartwatch maker in Q4 of 2019 when it controlled 34% of the market. In the final quarter of last year, Apple Watch models accounted for 40% of the market share. Apple's market share, let's see, can be attributed to the new Apple Watch's SE success, the mid-range Apple Watch option. Apple released the SE model alongside its flagship Series 6 at a lower $279 with some caveats such as the lack of always-on display, ECG, and a faster X6 processor. Counterpoint senior analyst Su Jung Lim says that the new mid-range Watch SE will likely push Samsung and other smartwatch makers to create similar mid-range options for customers looking for cheaper alternatives to main flagships.
Cool. I think that's cool. So yeah, according to this, I can't remember where I read it. Maybe I read it somewhere else, but I had the impression this is the first time they totally top. Yeah, I hope Juan doesn't hear that.
In fact, no, I think they mentioned it in their keynotes where that guy he said they sold more Apple watches than all Swiss makers.
Okay.
So not just Rolex, like all of them.
Yeah. But yeah, just to me, if you're topping Rolex, you really accomplished something, in my mind, anyway.
I wouldn't like Rolex is like a big seller because they're
Well,
expensive.
yeah, they're very expensive.
What's more impressive, to outsell Toyota or to outsell Ferrari?
I'd say they outsell Ferrari, just because you're put in the same category as Ferrari. That's pretty
Ah, yeah, you're cutting.
you know.
Nigel is asking you to check
And hear
your
them 5
Instagram,
blocks
George.
away, no matter which phone. Got all 3 phones right here, so I guess I can. Now, I think he's suggesting a router for me. Let's see. Well, I mean, hey, that would be helpful. He's sharing a router switch article. I will read it right after the broadcast, Nigel. I appreciate it. Let's see. And Ren's is saying Rolex. Don't know the brand because it's too expensive for my hearing. I know the feeling. Trust me, I'll never own a Rolex watch unless somebody gives me one. I guarantee you that. And maybe because of my age, I got over buying expensive stuff just because of its name. Many years ago, back in my 40s, I had my Porsche, and after I got rid of the Porsche, I kind of got over the Audis because it's affinity in Porsche and Audi. So basically, it's showing off what you got. I don't need to show off what I got. Give me a car that works well. I'm good to go. So I could never buy a Rolex watch because there are other watches that are just as good. Just because it's not a Rolex, I'm not buying it.
I don't know about
that. That's just me, though.
All of the watches that are just as good as a Rolex cost as much as a Rolex.
Well, but all I'm saying is people buy expensive stuff just for the name so they can show that they've got it. Like we have a friend that owns a Mercedes just because it's a Mercedes. I don't need a Mercedes. I've had my expensive car, and I found out it doesn't get me anywhere any quicker than my Kia Sportage does. So clothes or anything like that, So that's just me. All right. Next story.
Rolex can't do. Ren's saying Rolex can't do his heart monitor or sleep last night or something. I'll go for a smartwatch all the way.
I agree with Renz 100%. That's why I'm wearing my Samsung watch right now. Now, the only reason I'm not wearing my Apple Watch is because I alternate them every day. One day I wear the Samsung, the next day I wear the Apple Watch. So today was Samsung's turn.
But
I agree with 100%.
I don't know. I can't do a wearable where I have to give mental. Let's see. Nigel's asking me if I heard of Richard Mille watches. Let me go check these motherfuckers out.
I never heard of them. Yeah, check them out. So you don't do wearables at all?
I can't put on a wearable where I have to worry about the battery life of the device. That just gets old very quick. So that's
my wearables last me all day. That's all I require of them. I don't care if they last 2 days.
That's the problem right there. All day. I'd want the only wearable I bother with is the Mi Bands, which give you weeks of battery life, like this little guy right here. Where you can.
And to me, as long as it gets me, say, morning until 11 o'clock at night, I'm good. Or 12 o'clock.
What if you wanted to be adventurous, do an all-nighter at a stranger's house or something? Your watch is dead.
I played in bands. I played in bands for almost 50 years. My old native days were all done when I stopped playing in bands, so you don't have to worry about that. Yes, Nigel, I did check my Instagram, and they said I'll read the article right after the show. Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. So what are you finding out about his Richard Mille watches?
Oh, yeah. I shared the screen.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me bring it up. Share screen.
I found out that they are a partner with Ferrari.
Oh, no wonder. So you know they're expensive.
It's a racing chronograph, so that means the seconds complications must be A1.
Oh, there's a ladies collection too. A men's collection. Okay, that makes sense. Where's the price? Okay.
Oh, you know what they say about price, George. If you don't see the
If you
price,
have to ask, yeah, you can't afford it. I know. No, that's true.
Okay, which one? Okay, these are very these are very interesting styles.
So you're gonna run out and buy one?
These faces are kind of, oh boy,
They're different.
yeah, they're not really much.
Well, of course, you realize if you buy one of these watches, you have to go buy a Ferrari too.
Do they even match a Ferrari?
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen a red one.
I'm just looking at Nigel's next comment. He's telling Renz some go for over $1 million for a what? Well, I guess.
Okay, it's a manual watch. Ooh, it's a mechanical watch. I had a mechanical watch until I broke it.
Okay.
I love that watch.
I've had a couple of mechanical watches.
Base
I used to
grade,
collect
grade
a lot of
5
watches,
titanium.
but cheap watches, not expensive watches.
I cannot find the price. Where do I go? What does a man go to?
Okay,
Find
Renz has the right comment back to Nigel. Can I ride that watch, Nigel? That's true. Now, I wouldn't be asking you if I could ride it. I would be asking, okay, is that watch going to take me out into space and bring me back? For $1 million, that's what I want.
No, that's the one. What watch is that? The space one. The Speedmaster, Rolex Speedmaster. That's the one that takes you to space.
Okay.
That's the watch they made to commemorate the moon landing.
So, Nigel, if you want to buy one of those watches for Ted and I, you just feel free. We'll show you some gratitude.
You know, what's weird about these sort of sites is you don't actually get to order online. They're just showing you the collection okay. Well, I was going to buy it anyway.
They probably don't to watch until you order it, just like they do a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or, Ferrari. Interesting, anyway. The fact that Nigel knows about this, because I never even heard of them.
Yeah, neither did I. Oh, hold on. It's, oh boy, what happened?
You found the price or what?
No, my video. I froze.
At least it's not me this time. All right. I'm going to move to the next story, and I think it's my turn to read anyway. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, there we go. And if you remember, about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, I had talked about Arizona trying to pass some laws with Google, and so here's a follow-up story to it. This is on Axios. Arizona's crusade against app stores moves ahead. Arizona has moved a step closer toward enacting a new law opening up the app stores Apple and Google run. It would allow app developers to use their own payment systems instead of giving Apple and Google hefty shares of every transaction. On Wednesday, the Arizona House passed a bill that would let developers in the state avoid the typical 30% fees that Apple and Google charge the developers. The approval came despite a fury of tech industry lobbying against the deal, especially by Apple. So Google and Apple couldn't pay off enough politicians to stop it. But of course, it's only gone through their House. It hasn't gone through, I guess, their Senate yet. Apple has been under regulatory scrutiny from its competitors, as well as businesses that need the App Store to sell their products, and lawmakers pass similar bills after seeing Arizona's success so far. Now, see, that says so far, but they haven't fully passed it into law yet. So I think we got to wait on this one. It was a tight vote, 31-29. So if Google and Apple can pay off two more guys, case closed. The bill now goes to the Arizona Senate and needs to be signed by Republican Governor Doug Ducey. Oh, they can. I'm sure they can pay him off. Bill sponsor Regina Cobb, a Republican, was told actually she isn't sure whether Ducey stands on it or where he stands on it. To our consumers, Cobb said, "You have to have a pretty." Cobb says she hopes the bill will draw businesses to Arizona. But I think right now Arizona has some of the toughest lockdowns in the country, so that's probably not going to draw businesses. Apple lobbyists managed to fight off a similar bill in North Dakota, Cobb said, which scared people off, but I want to show them how it can be done. Basecamp founder David Heinemeier Hansen, who has been vocal about what he sees as anti-competitive behavior by Apple, told Axios Basecamp is planning to move its headquarters from Illinois to Arizona if the law passes. Interesting. This trumps everything else. Okay, so they are getting somewhere. If the bill passes, Arizona would become the most desirable place on the planet overnight for business, adding that Cobb stuck her neck out and fought with a ferocious energy to make this happen. Good for her. And collect the commission in the store we built. Apple Chief Compliance Officer Kyle Ander said in testimony before the Arizona State House. He continued, this will allow billion-dollar developers to take all of the app stores value for free, even if they're selling digital goods, even if they're making millions or even billions of dollars a day. Apple give away the App Store. Well, what else would they say? I'm sure. Who's the Fortnite company again?
Epic.
Epic. I'm sure Epic must love this. So I'm kind of rooting for them, even though I love my Apple and my Google. I'm kind of rooting for them. So I think it's that Apple and Google couldn't pay off enough.
Go Arizona.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. It says that somebody in Arizona has at least some integrity, I guess. Okay, let's see the comments. Nigel's still talking about the watch here. Some of the Richard Mille, like the RM05601, which is made from sapphire crystal shells, sells for $2 million. Well, sapphire crystal shells, I guess that makes sense. So you're talking...
No, sapphire crystal. Most of those most expensive watch faces are made out of sapphire crystal.
Okay. $2 million.
Even even iPhone camera lenses are made out of sapphire crystal.
Yeah.
Well said, George.
So where was it? Okay. Did you streaming on your LG? Renz is asking. And you answered him, okay.
Yeah, remember when I had to
That's-
stream from my LG when I didn't because my tablet
And it was
wasn't
okay,
working?
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay, wasn't it? Okay. All right. Ren's saying he's seeing some internet problem with me too. I don't, other than trying a new router, I don't see what else I can do, but at least I feel good that it's better than it was last week, because last week it was really terrible. Now I moved my extender closer to the computer. Maybe that's would help. Oh, and I ran some things that picked up the speed of the problems, guys. Maybe I'll get it resolved with a new router. We'll see. So going on to our last story of the night, and Ted, this is going to be for you. And I just thought this was kind of an interesting little story, and some people might like to hear about it. So I'm sharing the screen now. Okay. And this is on ZDNet.
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Google rolls out Phone Hub and other new features for Chrome OS. Google on Tuesday announced a new set of new features for the Chrome operating system, largely focused on helping people stay productive while using multiple devices. Those new features include the Phone Hub, an interface that allows you to control the key features of your Android device from your Chromebook. The new features come on the 10th anniversary of Chromebook, which gained popularity initially in the education sector. When Chromebooks were launched with Acer and Samsung in 2011, they were largely secondary devices for people, noted John Miladis, head of product and UX for Chrome OS. They've since undergone a huge shift to become the primary device for users. Miladis told reporters on Tuesday, in addition to serving the education sector, Google now targets general consumers and people using Chromebooks for work. 1 in 10 desktop devices sold globally run on Chrome OS, Miladis said, as do 1 in 5 sold in the US. This past year, it became the second most popular desktop operating system. It's amazing to see how modern computing has evolved. One key part of the evolution, he said, is the use of multiple devices. Unlike the past, our expectation is that we should have access to our data and a consistent experience across these surfaces. I like that phrase, these surfaces.
Yeah.
Some of the latest features for Chrome OS are focused on facilitating that experience. The Phone Hub serves as a sort of control center for Android devices. At the top of the application, users can see information related to the status of their phone, such as battery life and cell connections. Below that, users can find quick actions to take, such as instant tethering, a Find Your Device function, and Do Not Disturb. Phone Hub lets you turn on notifications so you can receive messages sent to your phone as well as respond to them from your Chromebook. In the coming months, Google will be rolling out Nearby Share to let users instantly and securely share files between your Chromebook and other Chrome OS or Android devices. It works offline and there's no need to share contact details. Google has extended Wi-Fi sync to work with more devices, so you can sync your Chromebook credentials not only with other Chromebook but Android devices as well as vice versa. Once you've used the Wi-Fi network on one device, when you sign into the same Google account on another device, there's no need to enter Wi-Fi credentials again. Chrome OS is also getting a series of time-saving and productivity-focused features and capabilities. For instance, the Chromebook setup has been streamlined so that parents setting up a child's personal Google account can also immediately add a school account. The child can use school apps like Google Classroom, while parents can use Family Link to maintain controls on the device. There's a new screen capture tool in Quick Settings menu that lets you take precise screenshots and screen recordings. Screenshots are automatically clipped to the clipboard. The clipboard has been enhanced, so you don't have to flip back and forth between documents. That's kind. There's also a space called Tote that gives you quick and easy access to pin files that you may need to access frequently, as well as a recent downloads and recent screen captures.
So it sounds pretty useful to me. Basically, they're catching up with Apple or trying to catch up with Apple, I would say.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. One platform does one thing well, the other platform being iOS does something even well.
Yeah, it just sounds to me like they're trying to catch up with Apple because Apple is so famous for being able to share everything between devices. So I think it sounds very cool to me, but not having a Chrome. But Eleanor had a Chromebook for about 4 years, and then she wanted to go back to her laptop, which we did. She wanted to go back to Chromebook, but she never did. So I don't have a Chromebook to try to stuff out on, but I think it sounds pretty cool. And let me see if anything's happening in the comments. That's okay.
Mine's just like, I hope your phone doesn't go ahead like. It's actually doing much better than when I first tried this feature.
I saw that. No, it's doing great tonight. I mean, it's smooth as silk.
Like in the end, I ended up just giving up and using my webcam.
Yeah. But so now if you like this better, you can use this every week. But it's been perfect tonight.
The latency, I think, is a bit. Actually, no. I still think the Fuji camera is more reliable than this iPhone. But ease of use though, just plug it in and play. Because if I had to use the Fuji camera, I'd have to plug in the dongle, the cam, set up the HDMI, position the tripod, and then be satisfied with the white balance.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I like using my... Okay, pulling up the glowing rectangles now. Oh, and I want to thank Renz and Nigel for letting me know when I did have problems because I have no way of seeing them. So I think that's great.
Oh, yeah, you've been having problems.
It's teamwork, guys. I appreciate
this stream. You've been having... I'm sorry. I didn't... Okay, I didn't know that you didn't know. I just assumed you've been knowing. But yeah, you've been having problems throughout the stream.
Okay. I've had a couple that I could see, but after last week, I still feel better. All right, so there's your screen share for the glowing rectangle. So all yours, and just tell me when to go up and down.
Actually, I can share it on my screen.
Oh, should I hit top?
No, I was saying I can share it on my screen. Yeah.
All right, let me stop sharing it. I'll let you do it. Okay.
I'm back on my
so
MacBook
you share it,
now,
and I'll put it up.
I'm using my MacBook, guys. That's why I can do all this great stuff. Usually for the past few months, I've been on my iPad. But, ladies and gentlemen,
I see one.
What?
I see one. I didn't know anybody else.
I was like, all podcasts have their own subreddit, and Juan's own podcast, the Some Gadget Guy Monday podcast.
Gadget Guy.
Yeah, has its own podcast, which is the Glowing Rectangle subreddit. What's different though is Juan has actually dedicated his podcast subreddit for all YouTubers to share their own stories. Not just YouTubers, but pretty much anyone who has an interest in tech. So if you find something that's interesting to share, go ahead to reddit.com/glowing rectangles and go ahead and share your favorite story or a story that you think is interesting. You can also, while you're there, just go ahead and upvote people's submissions. Like we have this one by David, AltDadTech. Let's give that an upvote. 8, second highest, where he talks about biases people have on using an Android and iPhone. Tale as old as time. But it appears that the top story of today is... I'm actually not familiar with this channel, but the title is Ethics in Tech Reviews. Yep. Well, no, let me just go ahead and just save this for later.
So it's a Twit network. Oh, it's This Week in Tech. That's, yeah. I know them. Oh.
I feel like I've seen her before.
I've seen her once on This Week in Tech, and the guy on the left, I've seen him many times. He's the one who runs it. I think he and her run it these days, but This Week in Tech has been around for years and years.
Let's see. There we go. I figured it out.
Okay. I've never figured that out.
Let's see. Oh, back to the comments. Brand is like, we don't have Chromebooks here. He needs to import. Oh, that's sad. No Chromebooks at all.
Really? Wow. That's amazing to me because Chromebooks are cheap. You would think it'd be a good market for them.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Here,
what's
Nigel's giving you a suggestion here.
Yeah. I want to address Ren's
Nigel's
comment,
giving
though,
you a
like,
suggestion.
yeah, he wants me to ditch the iPad and get the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. And
Which he just got.
I've actually, yeah, I actually just realized all of a sudden on my iPad I have a folio case on it as well as a screen protector.
Okay.
But somehow throughout my dealings with it, the screen got cracked. It's like a very thin like crack. I don't know how it could have happened, but my trade-in value on that iPad Pro was $455. You want to guess what it is now with that little hairline crack on it? Guys, guess. What? Guess my iPad Pro 2018 trade-in value. Used to be $455, but it's gone. It's gone down.
I'm going to guess $200.
$85.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
If it's functional and all that, but it has cosmetic damage, $85. So, whew. But yeah, Nigel, I was actually thinking about just going back to Android because.
Well, I gotta say, in defense of Nigel, he seems to love. Now he just got his S7 Plus, but I'm seeing an awful lot of people that seem to have good things to say about the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. So I haven't tried it.
Nigel, let me ask you something. When does it have HDMI out so that can I plug an external monitor to it? Can it do that, Nigel? Because I know it can do the DeX mode on the tablet itself. But is it able to...
Right.
I guess it can under DeX mode. Can it, use a second monitor,
Yeah, the
Nigel?
HDMI out is...
And Nigel's
hopefully he's still here. But
well.
of course, now it is 2:30 in the morning where Nigel is.
No. But
it's 2:30 tomorrow morning where Nigel is. So.
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking about getting an Android tablet because, most of the games I have are on Android. And, like, the only thing that's really keeping me on this iPad is LumaFusion. Although I haven't edited anything in a while.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I haven't edited anything in a long while, so maybe I can just live with Power Director or Premiere Rush Pro. I don't know, I have to look at videos, but yeah. To be honest, this iPad Pro is
use
the most used. What do you use?
The most used what?
Yeah, no, my most used piece of tech is that iPad.
Okay. When I'm on my desktop, I use Filmora 9 or I use Adobe Premiere Elements. And I find they do a good job.
Now, what's this about Renz? You don't know who Juan is, Renz? Some gadget guy?
Oh, really?
That is, hold on, let me see if I can.
He's been around forever. And he's got hundreds of thousands of followers, right?
Let's see, somegadgetguy.com. That is this, oh, hold on. Waiting for his website to load. That's this guy.
Yep, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
one of the most knowledgeable guys in the entire community anywhere, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and a very nice guy too.
Hold on, my thing froze again. Ooh,
see, it's running here just fine.
Oh, you mean my phone, my video, my feed?
Yeah, it's running here.
No, I mean my face.
Oh, your face. Okay. I can't help your frozen face. You better put some heat on it.
Behave. All right, what do I do? Go to auto.
Looking at the specs of the S7 Plus, and I'm not seeing any HDMI, I don't think.
But yeah, to answer your question, where it's that, that's Juan Bagnall. I think that just jogged your memory. So back, like, this is actually his subreddit, and he's dedicated his subreddit that's supposed to be for his podcast to, fellow techies who are interested in tech and can share the news.
He's giving it to all of us, basically. So, like I said, nice guy. Yeah.
It's for the people, by the people. For the people. And let's see. What's her name? Isa Does Tech. I think this is 4th on the list. Shows off the microscope.
She gets on there every single week too.
Yeah, hold on.
That's Josh Vergara's. That's Josh Vergara's girlfriend.
Yeah, hold on. Oh boy, hold on. But yeah, that's the subreddit, folks. Hope you enjoy it. It's subscribe to the subreddit, follow, give it the upvotes, what we call likes.
Yeah, and anybody's video you like, you can just add it in there and see if it gets upvoted. But at least people will have more exposure. That's for sure, especially small YouTubers.
Sorry about that, folks. Forgot to charge my MacBook.
Okay.
This was on 9%. Very.
So it's not just
job.
It's not just the old guys. So there you go.
Good job, MacBook. 1 hour and 36 minutes on full charge, and
Cool.
I don't know whether that's impressive or I'd like to think it's impressive.
It sounds pretty good to me.
Is it impressive for an Intel chip?
But I don't have a MacBook anymore, so at the moment.
For an x86, no.
Yeah,
that's not really impressive.
that's true. It's okay.
What did I want?
I think it's okay.
It went from because I lost. Went from 100% down to 91%. But Nigel, I wanted to know if you could plug an external monitor to the tablet and use 2 screens at once.
Yeah. So does it have an HDMI? But I could have missed it, I guess. Yeah. So we'll see if he answers it, because we've already done our last story.
We always say Joshua Vergara's girlfriend, but do we ever say John?
Well, if there was something there by Josh, we could say Issa's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah. At least I figured out where you were going.
Thanks.
Okay.
And yeah.
And I did upvote David's video also.
Oh, okay. Oh, this
Okay,
one only has 2.
Ren's is thinking just Samsung DeX. So Nigel hasn't come back with an answer yet that I see.
I don't know. Do I?
Like I said, when I just looked up the specs, I didn't see any HDMI. Do you want to kill? No, you don't want to kill.
Let me stop the share. And what are you doing?
What you want is a killer app.
I spoke too soon about this dumb iPhone.
I'm seeing some. And now I'm seeing some internet problems for me. Okay, now I'm back. Okay. Ted's very shaky, as you can see, folks. That's because of the wine he drank.
Yes, Nigel. I'm on the Instagram. I think I gave you a follow or a like or something, whatever I have to do, because your account's on private.
Yes, your account is private, Nigel. That's why he couldn't send you something.
But like, yeah, the reason why I bought this iPad was just for LumaFusion. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I'll have to go watch lots of reviews on this Galaxy Tab.
7
That'll help me.
Plus. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are coming up with positive stuff about it. I haven't used an Android tablet now in like 2 years, so I don't remember. Because you got me on the iPad Pro. That's your fault. Look at him smile. I knew he was going to smile. I knew you were going to smile.
And I just might be leaving now.
Okay, all right. So I see the plan. I'll get the old man on it, then I'll leave.
In fact,
all right. So we're done for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what else Ted is doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's actually a trade-in option for, let's see, Samsung.com. Hold on, Samsung Galaxy S7 tablet.
Plus. Do you want the plus?
I don't know if I care. How big, like, what's the size difference?
I don't know. It's probably a feature difference, I would think.
Oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. Oh, okay, I see the difference. Yeah, so yeah, the S7 is 11 inch, S7 Plus is 12.4 inches. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the S7. Mystic Black. Now I want that Mystic Bronze. Ooh, maybe I get the Mystic Silver.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, what happened? You know what? It doesn't matter. That's let me just share. No wonder I tried to use my Fujifilm. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen, George.
Okay, good. Here we go. All right, so that's the S7. This is not the Plus, right? Or is this the Plus?
No, this is just the regular one, the 11 inch.
Okay.
So we have it. So I'm not sure how I feel about this site. Like, I'm trying to pick my color. It's not showing my colors. Oh, April. Never mind. March 16th. All right, I can live with that.
Oh, it's not out yet. Okay.
There we go. Make it bigger for you guys. Join me on this journey. Apparently, there's going to be a video.
Oh, now he's using Eric's line.
Okay. All right. Keyboard sold separately. So does that mean that folio thing is included?
Oh, and Ted?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a with eligible trade-in comment, so I guess you can trade in stuff.
All right. So choose my thing, my storage size, 128. Now give me that file. Does it take SD cards, Nigel? You can, but you need to buy an HDMI adapter.
Oh, so it doesn't come with it. Yeah, I told you I didn't see it in the specs.
So yeah, let me see the trade-in and get $500 instant credit. Select brand, Apple. Select device, iPad Pro 11 inch. They are going to give me $375. But let's see if there's eligibility requirements. The device is not on the ban list. The screen and camera lenses are free of cracks. Shit.
I knew that was going to get you.
Is it still considered a crack if it's just one line, like one fine line?
If it's a scratch, it's a scratch, but I'm guessing that's going to disqualify you. But you said a
It says,
crack.
yeah, but yeah, it says a crack, but I think I have like a scratch.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, there's a difference between a crack and a scratch. I would think a scratch would be, they'd be quicker to forgive a scratch. I don't think they're going to forgive a crack at all. That's my guess.
Let me go see the FAQs.
I would talk to
device
them
must have a function.
online and see what they say.
Your device must have a function display with no black spots or pixelation. Must have no breaks, cracks, or other defects that go beyond normal wear and tear. That includes multiple scratches or dents.
Doesn't sound good.
Multiple scratches. I just have the one scratch.
You only have one. I thought of that as soon as you said it. Well, why don't you talk to them? Do an online chat and find out.
What if Samsung determines that my device does not meet the minimum conditions or device is not eligible? Samsung will evaluate the device when we receive it. If they determine that it does not meet the conditions described, or if it is a device that is not eligible for a trade on its promotion, then Samsung will value at $0. If Samsung does not meet, you will have 7 days to request your device back to the original shipping address on file, free of charge by visiting my orders.
So there you go. But I would still do an online chat first if I were you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that $375 schmuckaroos.
Now here, Nigel is saying, Nigel is telling you to send him a direct message on Instagram, but it's a private, account, right?
Yeah, he has to. I already sent him my invitation or whatever. I have to send him.
So Nigel, you have to accept him so he can send it to you.
Let's see. What am I spending?
And I was right. He does have the plus. I thought so. Yeah.
Hold on. So, my total is going to be $250. Is that how much I'm actually paying?
Sure sounds like it.
Samsung Care. $90 for 2 years. That doesn't sound crazy. And then the Samsung Care Plus, which is coverage for accidental damage or spills, extended coverage. Where's the? I thought they would offer me some,
So folks aren't waiting online. I would think it'd be somewhere.
Yeah. They don't want to sell me accessories? Your purchase will also include 4 months of YouTube Premium.
There you go.
And let's see what's in the box. Oh, wow. They include the pen in the box? I didn't know that. That's great.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Yeah.
Why don't I just jump this up to... They don't have an unlocked model? What kind of BS is this? Man. Okay,
I see I'm having internet. Sorry my problems, folks. It seems like it's increasing.
All right, so next page over. Now they show us the thing. The accessories. Book cover keyboard? No, but I will. I am interested in this book cover though.
$50, isn't it?
$70. It's
$70,
the same price as USB-C adapter, so it doesn't headphone jack. They got rid of it on a tablet. Heartless bastards.
Yeah. They want you to buy the Buds. I have my Buds Plus over there. I've had them over 6 weeks. I haven't even opened them yet.
Wow.
All right, are we ready to end?
Hold on, I'm just getting to the price. This is good.
Oh, pardon me. And Nigel says it does take a micro SD card. You got that?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they give you an instant trade-in value. Nice. Subtotal is 400 schmuckaroos. Hold on, 3 years plan? I don't think so. Boom, nice try.
Been a while since we've seen a buy online, folks. It's in the tradition of the Joker.
Well, that's
Here
all,
we go.
folks. Tune in next week to see if Ted bought the Samsung Galaxy S7. Tab S7.
Well, you saw it live. We got the PayPal, so we got to assume you got it. You know. Anyway, that was a nice, exciting end to the stream. So for coming in, thanks Nigel and Renz for all the help. Thanks Renz for the super chat. I very much appreciate it as always.
Thanks again, Renz.
And Ted, next week we're on your channel, yes?
That's right.
Okay. All right. So everybody, next week we'll be on TED Talks. And thanks for tuning in. I hope everybody has a very blessed weekend, and we will